pretty awesome.
Holy shit. Well,
Yeah, that sounds good.
we're live. So we're live, man. Let's turn off this deicide, and we'll listen to some other stuff after that. But hey, man, welcome to, I guess this is episode 7, right?
Yeah,
Since
because
our other episode 7 kind of got shut down by the record label.
Yeah, I hope that someone in that team chokes on a bag of dicks because
Dude, I had a lot of people actually like, man, I would really like to have listened to that. So
I think it was a good episode. And the thing that sucks
maybe
is,
we need to redo it.
well, we played a song from them on a different episode, so it's obviously that first album.
we did. Didn't we?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think it's that first album. So we could totally redo it. We just need to play different songs.
Won't be as funny as that joke he owes on Sweet Bird.
I mean, we could
Dude,
try.
that was funny.
We could try to redo it. I mean, it is what it is. You have it recorded though, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I kind of tossed it out.
You're like, but no, I get it. It's bullshit. But here we are. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the redo,
The redo of episode 7.
which is a totally different setup.
totally different setup. We got some other cool shit for you guys. We're going to talk about Deicide's new record today. So stoked about that.
Yeah. So I want to do a little correction on something that I said several episodes ago. We were talking about the new Deicide single that came out, and I said "By Idle Hands," which is Carrie King.
Yeah.
And it's Sever the Tongue.
I did not even realize you said that.
I recognized it as soon as I watched us
booze.
redo it. I mean, we are technically having bourbon for breakfast, so I can't I can't imagine that would influence anything we do through the rest of the day.
So if you don't know anything about this new Deicide record, it is called Banished by Sin, and it is an absolute banger.
It is. So if you like breaking down words, which both of us being in the medical profession, that's pretty much our whole life. So Deicide, the death of deities,
Woo.
which is
Good
awesome.
stuff.
And so I love pairing, as we've talked about, and Angel's Envy. I thought would be a
Smart choice.
fantastic irony.
I thought that's what that was for when you
Yeah.
took it out. I was like, that's got to be the one.
That's exactly what it is. So Angel's Envy on Bourbon Row in Kentucky. It is.
It's a nice caramel smell.
Yeah. So what's fun about Angel's Envy? So the term an angel's share. So they put you cask it in barrels. There's a little bit of evaporation that happens, and that evaporation they call the angel share.
Oh.
So that's where the term Angel's Envy comes from. So there's 3 char levels. So you have 15 seconds at high heat intensity, second char level is 30, then 35, then 55. Angel's Envy is straight across the board 35, so it's char level 3. And they are notorious that their shtick is a second barrel for finishing. Most of their bourbons and whiskeys are in a port, a wine port. This one, this rye that we have, is a 18 months in a Caribbean rum cask.
Interesting.
So what you have is
Maybe
that
that's where the-
spicy rye being brought together, melded with a nice little bit of a sugary rum.
Well, it does have a lot of sweetness, and it tastes great.
Which is usually not your standard fare for a rye. So that's kind of it's a good balance.
Wow, that's a really tasty drink. So let's dive straight in. I've got 4 songs that I chose, and just from listening through the record a couple of times, these 4 just kind of really hit it hard for me.
Yeah.
So I think it's track 2 is the first one that I chose. It's called Doomed to Die. So we'll start that one up. And right away, dude. You were talking to me about tremolo the other day, and it's the first thing I thought of. Did you hear that little...
Yep.
That's what that is.
Okay.
So what he's doing is when he's playing in his leads, he just taps that tremolo bar.
Okay.
So the springs kind of grab that note.
Sure.
And
Forces
like
a vibrato, I guess.
Yep. That's what that is. Just a real quick tremolo trick. I love that riff, dude.
I take it you've already figured it out.
I've been working on this one.
They're speedy.
Yeah. And that's the thing about this song. This whole entire song is just straight. I mean, they don't slow down the whole time.
No.
It's just constant. 16th notes, 30 seconds, whatever you want to call it. Dude, Glenn is sounding tougher than ever.
I mean, and because their first album was what, 91, 89, something like that, and he's been managing.
Dude. I think one of the things that really draws me to this newer Deicide sound is they sort of got a they've really meshed the thrash death metal world.
They have.
Yeah, I mean,
There was definitely some songs and/or albums that were very chaotic. You didn't get a sense that there was a time signature they gave a shit about at all.
yeah.
This has become a lot more. There's a lot of undertone of melody to
Yeah.
the crazy, which I love.
And it's just straight like 4/4 time. Like there's not a. I mean, there's a few songs that's a little bit tricky, but you know, a track like this is just 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and all the way through. They just kick ass. It just doesn't. It just doesn't let up, man.
No.
This is exactly what I love to listen to on a daily basis. Great riffs,
Man.
then I love where he layers the vocals and he's got that black metal sound. Real throaty shit. Killer.
He was accused early on of doing a lot of voice manipulation through technology, and he was very adamant, said, no, this is me, this
Yeah.
is all me, and I think that kind of, I mean, it puts a lot of, I guess, challenge out to the upcomers to try to what
mean,
can I
this-
do with my voice?
Dude, Glenn's an OG, man. Like everybody's got to, you got to respect Glenn. You know
Right.
What I mean?
Oh, I absolutely
He's
do.
got the, you know, the bottom end balls. It's also quite a lot of clarity to his tones
Yeah.
as well. That's something that a lot of metal singers struggle with, in my opinion. Trying to like with their enunciation, it just gets a little bit muddy sometimes.
Yeah. Well, being able to manipulate true and false chords at the same time to create clarity in the grumble is hard.
Yeah. Look at that ride cymbal. Classic. And another.
Ooh.
That's it, man. That's it right there.
Just to the
3
point.
minutes of brutal beat your ass.
Which, when I was looking at the whole track list, I think it's all 3 minutes. Every single
Yeah.
one of them's in the 3-minute category, and I was like, "This is Aaron's orgasm right
Yeah,
here. This
dude,
is
it's just they just
what it is."
I just want 3 to 5 minutes of just kick your face in. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely. I mean, it's a round of boxing.
Yep.
That's what you want.
Here we go with the next track that I really thought was interesting, and it's called "Faithless," another beatdown. But the cool thing about this one, you got some new school sort of vibe in there with those arpeggios in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. That first one went right into almost like a guitar solo.
Yep.
This one has a little bit more rhythm going
Yeah,
in
a lot
the
of
beginning.
melody, a lot of rhythm, and the arpeggios in it just really stuck out to me because then they went, you know, straight to the. Now it's time to curb stomp your ass. You
I
know?
mean, sometimes everybody could use a little foreplay, and that's Deicide's foreplay right there. An arpeggio.
yeah, nice little arpeggios in the beginning, and then we're like, oh no, gotcha.
JK. That's their version of luring you into their free candy van.
Yeah, I love that riff right there because like, and this one mirrors that same riff, but it's just a different key. I love bands that will just that can have the same sort of riff. They change the key and it changes the whole dynamic of the song. I think a lot of bands look for just a completely different riff and a completely different vibe a lot.
Yeah.
But I learned early on that if you could have the same riff, you just change the key, and
Yeah.
it'll take you to another level.
Almost like a pseudo sense of complexity, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you that, you know, your brain thinks, oh, this is something different, but it's really not. It's just a different note change, different key change. I love that. I guess maybe my earliest memories of that was with Inner Sandman. You know?
Right.
They just they would have the sleep with one eye open part was the same riff, but a whole step higher.
Okay.
So they went from E to F sharp. Changed the dynamic of the song. Note choice or pattern was the same. So I thought that was cool. And I love when bands do that. Still hear it all the time. And there's another variation. They're just tripleting. Same note pattern. It's triple. Killer.
I love it. That's something they do really well, is that
Yeah, their lead work's killer right now.
light in. I would love to see these guys live.
Oh yeah, dude. We got to find that tour.
Too bad they didn't latch onto that Morbid Angel show that's coming.
I always wondered if, because you've never seen the OGs
Tour together.
like Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse, Deicide. I mean,
How wouldn't that have been a lineup?
oh my god, dude! You talk about a massive moneymaker, but yet it hasn't happened.
Well, I mean, how much of it is a dick swinging contest on who wants to be the headliner?
Or, yeah, I mean, there's that because they're the 3 best-selling death metal bands of all
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Which
is interesting because Cannibal Corpse usually tags on to another group that's bigger than them, and they usually play the beginning.
Yeah,
Like, at least the times that I've seen them.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple of, I've obviously seen Cannibal a shitload of times in headlining settings where they always have some of the lower guys, but I always wondered that, like, why couldn't we have the 3 OGs on tour and then maybe
Right.
have like a Suffocation with them? I mean, you're talking about,
Oh, man.
dude, I'd love to go to that.
Yeah. That would be spectacular.
So Faithless wasn't beat down.
Yeah, well, I mean, as it should be. It's.
Yeah.
I mean, I've also listened to the whole album more than once, and it's front to back.
Yeah.
There's no ballads. You're not gonna get it. This little soft, gentle pat on the back.
That's it. I'm making a social media post. I need to see Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel, and Deicide, Suffocation, all on the same tour.
I mean, yes,
Let's see if
please,
we can get that viral.
and come to West Virginia, please.
Yeah. You'll surely sell out here in the Bible Belt.
Right.
All right. Speaking of other great songs to fuel the Bible Belt, this song is called Failures of Your Dying Lord.
Probably plenty.
Killer.
He holds that.
Yeah, for a minute. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Good
like
stuff.
just deep guttural.
Screaming away the gird.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times I don't even, when I'm listening to a lot of music, I don't even really care what they're saying.
Right.
I've never really cared about lyrical content of songs. I always listen to music for the entertainment value. Like, people ask me all the time how I listen to this kind of stuff, and it's like, I don't really care what they're saying.
Right.
Rip your throat out through your fucking ass. I don't know. I don't care. All I care about is the music part. But I just really love the vocal line as an instrument.
And that's what it is, especially in the extreme elements of metal that both of us love. It is another instrument. And a lot of times, I mean, if you don't have the lyrics sitting in front of you,
You would not know. You
No.
wouldn't know.
well, and even in some of the even more extreme stuff, brutal death, noisecore, even if you're like, you didn't say that, you wrote that, it's down on paper,
didn't say it.
but you didn't say it.
Yeah. You just
Yeah. I mean, no one knows.
Yeah, no one knows. And I would venture to say that a lot of that happens live too. There's no way you remember all the words to all the songs. Listen, I've played live for a long time, and you forget shit. You know
Well,
what I mean?
sure.
So you just kind of wank stuff up, Just ask. We'll just ask Derek that. I know that he's done it.
It's good to have confirmation.
Yeah. See, that's the nice little polka beat we used to call
A
it.
little polka beat.
The polka beat. You could play some back. What was that shit? The accordion.
Uh-huh.
Over top of that.
You totally could. I want to see someone like river dance mosh to that.
There's somebody out there doing it.
Of course there is.
I mean, Northern Europe is full of river dancing and metal. Somebody's doing that shit. Let us know in the comments below.
Please send a link. I want to watch it.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I want to see it for sure.
So what are you guys thinking of Deicide so far? Also, let us know in the comments below. This new Deicide record for me is just, love it.
Yeah, this is, I mean, from the death metal genre, this is definitely in the album of the year running, in my opinion.
Sure.
I think it's right up there with that Vitriol that we listened to.
Yeah, dude, that's a tough one to beat. Right?
Yeah. Which I'm excited to see them
Yeah.
again.
Well, we're going like next week or week after that.
Yeah, like 12 days.
It's going to be crazy. And one of the things that's cool about DSI 2 is they don't tune down really low, and I think that's what lends a nice clarity to their overall guitar sound, is because they're playing in half step,
Right.
which is like Slayer tuning. And weird to me, because when I first started learning some DSI songs, I did the In the Minds of Evil song on my other channel.
Yep.
And
Which is a great redo, by the way.
yeah, kick-ass song. Thank you. Yeah, I was like expecting at least D standard, if not C sharp, somewhere around in there. Nope. Good old half step. I mean, that's just a half a step down from standard pitch, man, where most bands lived back in the 80s and 90s, and until the mid 90s to upper 2000s, everybody started kind of getting lower and lower. But
Right.
I just really love a nice higher tuned guitar. D standard is kind of where I leave mine. I've got a couple in half step and then a couple in standard that I fuck around with sometimes, but yeah, D standard is the perfect tuning for me.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It takes a. I mean, you still need a bass guitar
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I try to, whenever my tones, if you look my tones, the low volume or the low setting is pretty low. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'll even have it lower than that. It's the second knob over. I think it's on like 4 right now, but a lot of times I'll even have it around 2, and then I have the bass guitar, just because the bass has to serve a purpose. And if you're competing
Right.
with the bass, then you end up like the Injustice for All record, where they just shut it down completely.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of bass.
And that's because it was fighting with the guitar bass.
Yeah,
James had a lot of scooped mids. He didn't have any mid range to kind of cut.
yeah,
So, and a lot of bands will do that now too, where they'll have the bass really mid rangey, so it'll cut through.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just have like a really dirty guitar sound, and the bass will cut through and give it the grindy tone.
yeah.
Interesting shit. You'll find that a lot in band. Like I noticed DSI does that a little bit. So try to listen for that again on this track. This is the last song on the record, and whenever I was listening through, I always tell you, man, the last song on the record is one of the ones that kind of ended up just grabbing me on a lot of metal records, because I think a lot of bands leave it there as like a little Easter egg. Like if you
Yeah.
make it to the end, this is the track that's going to kick your ass.
You've
So,
earned it.
yeah, this song is called "The Light Defeated," and I absolutely love it. 3 minutes of just ass whipping.
Gets right into it.
Yeah, dude.
God, they didn't even spit on that first. They,
I'll have another drink to that.
as you
Sure.
should.
God. The Angels Envy Finished Rye has been very, very tasty. Finished in Caribbean rum rest. I love that.
Sam's Club, man. So, if you have the opportunity of finding things below retail, I definitely recommend it. I think I got this for $78. I saw it as high as $115 the other day at a different store. So, yeah.
Well, it's got the flavor of a high-end stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Tastes great.
Yeah, my budget this last month has been a little bit skewed. It's been a lot of music and a lot of whiskey.
Yeah, I noticed you sent me some pictures of some new shit.
Yeah. Well, I've been in competition with my brother.
Oh, right, okay.
I got him into whiskey, and now he's gone full-blown crazy. So, yeah. Ooh. God,
Yeah,
that riff.
groove. I'll probably end up learning this track, too. Hear the bass?
Yep, absolutely.
It's really mid-rangey. It's kind of bringing everything up.
Absolutely.
I love that grindy bass tone. But you can hear that the guitar is still really saturated, and the bass is what's kind of crunching it all together.
It's almost like, did they distort the bass?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. It's really mid-rangey. It's really clicky. It's a term we use.
Okay.
And then it's got, they throw a little bit of overdrive on top of it.
Ooh, that groove.
Yeah, with the sweet little lick over top.
Yeah.
This track, dude, I'm telling you, man, I was like, this is the best. This might be the best song on the record. That's like a fist pumper in the
Absolutely.
crowd, you know. Tapping. They've got all the tricks on this album, man.
I love watching the guitar players doing that, like chasing their hands up and down the. This is a great solo.
Yeah, I love this part right here. It's almost like they've been giving us, like the first part of that solo was like, here's some new school tricks and shit that we've learned, and then now we're going back, taking you on that Journey style death metal solo, you know? God, killer.
Some of the best guitar solos are death metal.
Totally. They just, and I think it's probably a lot of the contrast between the chaos underneath and then the ride that the guitar player will take you on.
Right.
You know, I always think of it as, you know, an incredible roller coaster. The Light Defeated.
Dude, that was spectacular.
What dude, if those 4 songs don't get you pumped about listening to this new Deicide record, if you haven't listened already, dude, give it a shot, man.
Absolutely, because it came out, I think, last week. Yeah.
Last week,
Yeah, last Friday. Good.
Loved it.
Great band. Great whiskey.
Yep. Definitely try the Angels Envy rye. Finished rye.
Yep.
All right. And
Yeah.
this is from the cellars of Lincoln Hinkelson. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Something like that.
Henderson?
Henderson? Hinkelson? I don't know. It's a weird signature, but it tastes good.
Yeah, never
Thanks,
rely
Lincoln.
on the signature
Yeah.
at all.
I'll just tell Lincoln thank you. Appreciate you guys watching. Go listen to the new Deicide record. Have a great time. We'll see you on the next episode.